KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning. Happy Friday. You're still stuck with us right here. We're on GMSA at 9. Got a lot of stuff to do and get to today. A lot of coverage going on.
Indeed. And we're going to get right to a top story this morning. A huge decision to be made today on Senate Bill 10 that would require all public school classrooms to display the 10 Commandments.
Erica Hernandez, who was live outside at the federal courthouse right now with a preview of today's hearing. Good morning, Erica.
Good morning, Japhanie. Well, this lawsuit was put together by 16 Texas families and against 11 school districts. Some of those families from right here in San Antonio, which means there's some local school districts that are a part of this lawsuit, like Alamo Heights ISD, Northeast Side, Northside, and Lackland ISD. Now, this lawsuit is trying to prevent Senate Bill 10 to go into effect on September 1st. That bill was signed into law by Governor Greg Abbott in June and would require every classroom to post a 16 by 20 poster or framed copy of the Protestant version of the 10 Commandments. There are about 5.5 million students enrolled in more than 9,000 public schools across the state. The families in the lawsuit say this law violates the First Amendment and that children and their families adhere to an array of faiths, and many do not practice religion at all. While supporters say the 10 Commandments will encourage better behavior among students. Now, something similar was passed in Louisiana, but just this summer, a federal judge there struck it down, saying it was unconstitutional. So it'll be interesting to see what a federal judge here in Texas does today. Now, this topic has been a hot topic on our social media accounts. So here's what some of you are saying this morning. One person said, "The 10 Commandments, a step in the right direction," while another said, "I do not agree with it. School should be about education, not religion. That should be for Sunday school or church." Now, this hearing gets underway at around 10 a.m. There are no cameras allowed inside federal court, but we'll be updating you throughout the day on our KSAT.com and all our digital platforms to just keep you up to date where this is going. And we'll obviously try to have a live report at noon if there's a break in this hearing. Live at the federal courthouse, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thanks so much, Erica. Taking a live look outside with 84 degrees.
And live cam, a little cloud cover out there. And we know Justin's been tracking something in the Gulf for us and how it could impact your weekend weather.
And it's still there. We still got quite a bit of moisture, actually, with this tropical system down in the Gulf. It's starting to make its way inland, or at least it's close to land here. We can see all the rain associated with it, but still not a tropical depression at this point, just a tropical wave. We got a good shield of rain and, again, some deep moisture that will start to work in our direction a little bit later tonight going into tomorrow. Brownsville, a place that likely will see some rain today, but for us it holds off a little bit longer. That said, we do have a couple of showers showing up near Victoria. We do have some clouds starting to build here around San Antonio. So let's look at our rain chances. Today, I'd say 20%. We'll watch for some of those spotty showers to show up. But overnight, your rain chances go up. Midnight, 30%. Before sunrise tomorrow, I think we have a decent chance for some downpours, 40%. And that'll last through about midday, maybe early afternoon tomorrow before rain chances go down. So that's kind of our window. If we're going to see some of these tropical downpours, that's when they would be. Outside right now, 84. Here in San Antonio, 81 New Braunfels, 82 Stinson. Feels like 91, by the way, because there is a ton of humidity, and we'll still get temperatures up in the upper 90s today before we get a little cooler as far as temperatures go coming up tomorrow. All right, we'll have a full look at that forecast. We'll kind of time it out for you coming up here in just a couple minutes, guys.
Okay, 9:02 outside as we take a look at an 18-wheeler, disabled 18-wheeler pulled over there at I-10 at UTSA Boulevard. Not really slowing anybody down right now, but that is something to keep an eye on here this hour as we continue on this Friday. 35 at Eisenhower looking pretty good. So no major accidents that are showing up on any of the cameras right now. There's 37 at South Cross. Of course, we'll continue to keep an eye on everything for you and have another traffic update coming up in just a little bit.
Yesterday, we got the Texans honor the more than 130 people who died from the floods across the Hill Country and over the July 4th weekend.
Our Zaria Oates was there as people arrived in Kerrville to remember the lives that were lost.
We're at the Coming King Sculpture Prayer Garden in Kerrville, where more than 100 people are being honored after they tragically lost their lives in the Hill Country floods. Individuals and people's families are being remembered by name here, and we talked to a few people who stopped by about why it was so important to them to honor these people here.
Community, it's important, I believe, to sit with people in their grief and in their suffering.
It's quite sobering to walk up and see the whole line of crosses and hearts.
People are still reeling, still trying to cope, so we wanted to be here to bring the presence of Christ.
How does it make you feel to see so many people come out? A lot of these people have told us they don't even know some of the victims.
That's me. Yeah, it's incredible that the work with the crosses and the people and the setup and the dogs. The canine comfort dogs, their ministry is amazing. So.
Moving forward, the owner of the prayer gardens hopes to put in a permanent sculpture for the victims of this flood.
A undulating limestone wall, and then we'll have bronze plaques on this wall honoring those that are lost, that perished, but also we're going to honor the first responders, the volunteers, the churches, the companies, and really try to make a place where everybody can grieve, they can mourn, but they can have a lasting remembrance of one.
We can pray for them by name.
In Kerrville, I'm Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.
And also, we want to remind you, Together for Texas, you've been hearing about it. It's a concert that is happening that's going to be at the Tobin Center, where all of the proceeds are going to go to local flood relief efforts. Tickets costing only $35. And of course, you can catch that concert live only at KSAT 12 and KSAT Plus.
Bexar County is honoring the 13 people we lost in flash flooding here in San Antonio 2 months ago. County officials have named June 12th a day of remembrance for those victims. Most of them died along a stretch of Perrin Vital Road near Loop 410. Family members spoke about how the events of that night have changed them and their outlook on life.
I love different now. I love different now. The people that I say I love, I make time for them now. You know, whereas once upon a time, I don't know, it's easy to get caught up in work and life and hobbies and kicking it with your friends and things like that. But now, the people in this front row that came with me today, my family, I make time now. Nothing else matters.
So that was Tyson Tufono, the son of Matthew Angel Tufono, who died after being swept away from Perrin Vital Road. He said his father had celebrated his 51st birthday just the day before the flood. Officials tell us the proclamation was just the start. They went to address other issues that led to that tragedy.
Okay, here's today's 9 at 9. The Texas redistricting standoff is at a critical juncture today. State House Democrats are outside Texas to break quorum, but give two conditions for their return. One is the end of a special session that's underway, and the second condition is for California lawmakers to propose their own new maps to offset changes in Texas.
President Trump and Vladimir Putin are meeting today on a U.S. military base in Alaska to discuss ending Russia's invasion of Ukraine, nuclear control, and trade. Mr. Trump said he believes both leaders want peace, but admitted there's a 25% chance no deal will be reached.
New data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that prices rising at the fastest monthly pace in more than 3 years. Economists expected prices would be rising by just 0.2% in July and by 2.4% annually. But the latest producer price index spiked 0.9% from June.
Health experts have released new guidelines for blood pressure. Those include an earlier start to treatment and a heightened focus on cutting out alcohol. For those who do drink, the guidelines recommend consuming less than before and ideally none.
A new study warns that climate change can make satellites more vulnerable to solar storms, threatening GPS and internet service. Researchers say the rising carbon dioxide is thinning the upper atmosphere, making solar storms cause bigger spikes in atmospheric density, which can throw satellites off course.
Walmart workers are getting a new perk, lower grocery bills. The company announced it's expanding the number of products that are eligible for employee discounts. That includes previously excluded items like milk, meat, frozen pizza, and pasta. Now, 10% employee discounts will apply for nearly all grocery products.
Airbnb introducing a new feature that allows travelers to reserve some stays without paying up front. Travelers can use the feature for listing with a flexible or moderate cancellation policy. The full rental amount isn't due until shortly before the end of the listing's free cancellation period.
Target and Ulta Beauty are ending their years-long partnership. More than 600 Ulta Mini Beauty shops have operated within Target stores since 2021. In a statement, Target says that they are proud of the experience the companies delivered together. The partnership officially will end next August.
No one matched all the winning numbers in Wednesday's Powerball drawing, and now jackpot has grown to an estimated $565 million, the biggest jackpot so far this year. Well, the next drawing is tomorrow. Good luck on your odds of winning are roughly 1 in 292 million. But if you do win, again, remember your good friends here on GMSA at 9. Specifically, Daphne, Justin, and Ernie.
Thank
and
you.
RJ.
Don't forget RJ.
Yeah, gotta get some man. And Alex Gomez. Everybody, just remember all of us at KSAT if you win. Okay, 9:08 right now, 84 degrees outside.
All right, after the break, we'll get a look at some events happening around the city that you and your family can enjoy.
Plus, a well-known local bar closing its doors at the end of the month. What people are saying.
9:12 here on GMSA at 9, and end of an era, I should say. A popular downtown bar will close at the end of the month. We're talking about Pat O'Brien's. Pat O'Brien's owner, Corey Neal, says business has been tough since the pandemic.
So he adds that everything's more expensive, and all that construction around the Alamo hasn't helped either. So Neal telling people to come by and say their goodbyes to the staff, some of whom have been working there for more than 20 years.
All right, they're known for their signature hurricane drink and in-house mix of passion fruit and rum, and the dueling pianos concept, where on-stage pianists compete for the crowd's attention and tips. The New Orleans-inspired bar located at 121 Alamo Plaza will serve its last drink on Sunday, August 31st.
So many people have shared their comments on social media. On KSAT.com, Richard Martinez writing, "Wacky Wednesdays got me through college, man. Those $4 hurricanes."
And Josie Garcia says, "No, this was my St. Patrick's Day spot."
And of course, you still have time to say your goodbyes. The bar open from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. Monday to Thursday, noon to 2 a.m. Friday, and then Saturday, and 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. on Sunday. You see the list right there. Of course, we're going to miss it. Going to miss it a lot.
Okay.
In other news now, we've got the next story, proves truth is stranger than fiction. A book was returned to San Antonio Public Library 82 years after it was due.
Yeah, marketing manager Scott Williams told us that the self-help parenting book came with a letter. The sender wrote that they believe their grandmother accidentally packed the book away while being transferred to work at the U.S. Embassy in Mexico City sometime in the 1940s.
What's really remarkable about this one is that the person who returned it to us gave us the story. They told us where this book had been and why they decided to return it at this time.
As for the late fees, the San Antonio Public Library stopped charging those back in 2021. But when asked for an estimate, Williams says that at some point they would have been asked to replace the cost. You can see the book on display at the library's central location now until the end of August. Okay, we know it's Friday and the weekend. There are plenty of different events that you and the family can get out and enjoy.
Summer break may be over, just about over for some kids too, but the fun doesn't have to end. And the best part is you don't have to travel outside San Antonio to enjoy some of these events. Starting off with watching movies in the park at Mission Marquee Plaza. Tomorrow from 7 to 10:30 p.m. you can watch Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. Blankets, lawn chairs, snacks, and picnics are welcome, and the event is free and pet friendly.
Yeah, and then if you are feeling the dancing the night away, Hemisphere is hosting their super fun Saturday Glow Dance Party. This is happening from 8 to 10 p.m. where you're encouraged to wear your brightest neon clothes. There will be live music, interactive activity stations, and so much more. Go shake it!
Okay, and then on Sunday you can shake it at a free yoga class that will happen in the morning at 10 o'clock at Confluence Park. For more information on these events, you can go to KSAT.com. I literally can see Daphne with her glow.
I don't think you're supposed to shake it at yoga events.
Well, it depends.
It's very calming.
Yeah, it's
Well,
very.
Never mind. We're going to get to the weather.
Okay.
How we do it outside. If you're cold, you're going to be shaking.
The golf
Well,
is
that's
shaking.
not the case right now.
That's true.
Hey, look at
no.
all those transitions. Let's see this.
You're welcome.
All right, let's look at some of the headlines. All right, so the Gulf, that is what we're watching. Low end chance of what we have down there, which is a tropical wave to become a depression. But honestly, as I've been saying all morning, we're running out of time here. And it doesn't matter if it becomes a depression or not. The effects for us in South Texas will be the same, and that is scattered downpours. And that's mainly going to be this afternoon, tonight, and through the first half of the day tomorrow. Flooding is unlikely. Most of us are going to see less than a half an inch if we see anything at all. There will be a lucky few, though, that if they get underneath one of these heavier downpours, they could pick up an inch or two, which could cause some minor street flooding. We just don't expect this to be a big problem. And certainly nothing like what we saw, of course, last month. So just to put your mind at ease. As we look at the authority radar, we do see all that heavy rain down there, at least a cluster of showers and storms associated with this tropical wave. It's starting to affect South Padre Island and Brownsville, but just barely moving on shore at this point. And it looks like even if there is a center of circulation, it's still kind of offshore at the moment. This energy, though, will work its way north towards San Antonio overnight tonight. And already with some of that moisture starting to kind of swing in here, we're getting some light showers around the Victoria area and down towards Beeville. And I think we could see a few more this afternoon. It's just that the bulk of the lift will actually come later tonight. So this is noontime, and it does show a couple of downpours working their way up towards our neck of the woods by midday. And then as we get into the evening hours, one or two pop-up storms or showers. And then it's tonight, as I said, when we start to see those better rain chances. This is 3 a.m. and it shows some downpours. So don't be surprised if you wake up and the roads are wet or the lawn is wet, because we certainly could get some rain overnight. And that'll continue into tomorrow morning. So keep in mind, if you got a soccer match tomorrow morning, there could be some rain around. Don't cancel your plans, because this is still going to be scattered stuff. But just have an umbrella nearby. And by 2 o'clock, doesn't show much. I still think we could see a few more pop up during the late afternoon hours. Flash flood risk. Okay, so they do have us in a low end of risk for this. But as I said, I don't think flash flooding is going to be a real problem here, other than in a few very isolated spots, if that. Because for the most part, we're talking about 1/10 of an inch to 1/2 an inch of rain on average. Now, as I pointed out, there could be some isolated 1-inch totals or more, depending on where some of those heavier downpours set up. So 40% coming up tomorrow, 96. Then Sunday is going to be quiet. 100, just hot and humid. We get drier conditions working in. As we go outside for you, already starting to see quite a bit of cloud cover. The influence of that moisture starting to work in. 84 degrees at the airport, 83 in New Braunfels, 77 Bernie, 84 at Stinson. And yesterday we got up to 102. I don't think we'll be there today. Clouds should help us, even though the heat index certainly will be over 100. 97 at 3 o'clock, 98, 4 p.m. There's your 20% chance of rain. And then I would say after 9, 10 o'clock, you may see those rain chances start to come up. 100 Sunday, as we pointed out, 100 Monday, 20% chance rain, 20% chance Tuesday. And then next week, and we'll talk about this next half hour, rain chances are looking promising for the middle and end of next week.
Bring it.
That's what I say.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. More to come here, including a look at some recalls that involve a water bottle sold at big stores like Target and Walmart nationwide. Why it's being pulled for safety reasons.
Plus, we got a local nonprofit losing millions. How this will impact low-income communities and their energy bills. Okay, welcome back. It is 9:23. Nonprofit organization Opportunity Home losing $24 million after the EPA canceled the Solar for All program, which helped low-income communities with solar projects.
The nonprofit says thousands of families were counting on savings from lower energy bills and backup power during outages. The city of San Antonio and others in Texas are affected as well. The EPA's move comes after funding had already been frozen earlier this year. After dedicating several years to serving unhoused Comal County families, the co-founder of Family Promise of Greater New Braunfels has died. But now his friends and family want to honor his legacy of service, and they want it to continue. 89-year-old Army veteran Kenneth Jacobs co-founded the nonprofit over a decade ago, and since then, he's organized several churches and volunteers together to provide eviction prevention, shelter diversion, temporary shelter, and stabilization programs to needy families.
So the Family Promise of Greater New Braunfels holding their annual gala next Friday with a live and silent auction and a special tribute to Jacobs. I will be there emceeing that event. We got a link to any kind of way you can donate. Of course, the family is asking in lieu of anything that you would send to them, send as a donation to Family Promise, the nonprofit, again, in honor of Jacobs and his legacy. You could check out the auction items. I think they got like some real, like, authentic memorabilia that they're going to be auctioning off.
Okay.
Taylor Swift signed things. So they're trying to actually, again, bounce back from the pandemic, which caused them to struggle. And now, again, they're on the right path, but they're doing it in honor of Mr. Jacobs. Check it out, KSAT.com. Yes.
Okay, very good. 9:24, 84 degrees outside. There's still more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Okay, so the new school year gets underway. It can be a tough environment, social for kids, what students are opening up to Crime Stoppers about and how they are helping them.
All right, coming up on the bottom of the hour on this Friday, as school starts, kids and teens are back in a fun yet tough environment socially. When it comes to things like mental health, bullying, and online safety, kids don't always open up to adults.
But they are talking to Crime Stoppers teams. Courtney Freeman tells us what kids are asking them.
Crime Stoppers presents at schools across Texas about tough topics, and specialist Callie Conklin says her non-judgmental approach actually gets kids talking.
Because students always come up to us afterwards and ask questions, or they email their counselors or they email us. So we decided to compile a list.
Okay, so the first question listed was, how can I tell if a relationship, friendship, or romantic is toxic or unhealthy?
And what it comes down to is, how do you feel when you're with this person? Do you feel like they're trying to control or manipulate you? They're putting you down? Do you feel like they're trying to make decisions for you about where you go, who you spend time with?
If someone is bullying me or a friend online, what steps can we take to make it stop? And what if reporting it doesn't work?
They want a reaction or a rise out of their target. So really the best way to stop it in its tracks is to ignore it. If that doesn't work, is to ask the bully to stop. If they still do not stop, this is when we need to report it. If the trusted adult that you confide in does not help you, keep looking. I always encourage them to use their school's anonymous reporting tool. We also have an anonymous reporting tool at Crime Stoppers.
The third is, what are the risks of sharing private photos or texts, and what can I do if someone is threatening to share something I sent?
When they take a photo and send it, the minute it leaves their device, they absolutely relinquish control. And in terms of the photos, yes, it is illegal for them to send. However, I don't want that to discourage anyone from coming forward if they find themselves in a scary situation.
Because they are the victim in that.
Because they are the victim. Yes, absolutely. The number one thing to do is to not comply with the demand. And this is how we see children winding up in human trafficking situations. Second of all, get help. Tell a trusted adult. I know it's embarrassing. I know it's hard. I look at them and I say, we all make mistakes sometimes.
The good news is kids are opening up about this and wanting to stay safe. There are 2 more top questions on that list that include online safety, skipping school, and vaping, and we have those on KSAT.com. From the newsroom, Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
All right, let's get to this situation. Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones backing off this morning after clashing with city council members. And this is all over the changes to the process for submitting council proposals.
Now, some council members said the mayor improperly altered a key way to start official policy discussions. In a statement this morning, the mayor said, quote, given the desire to use the current process as a baseline, we look at ways to improve the process. We will revert to the process outlined in the CCR ordinance. And she went on to say, I would target a collective review of the CCR process after the new year so that we can implement improvements and add to the CCR ordinance as necessary, end quote.
San Antonio's next budget could break $4 billion.
That's even as the city tries to tackle the threat of a multi-million-dollar budget deficit. Property and sales tax revenues are not keeping up with rising costs. And now the city is facing a $173 million shortfall in its general fund over the next 2 years. To close the gap, city staff plan to shift or cut about $111 million from the fund over 3 years. So what does that mean for city services that you rely on? The city manager promises those things will not be hit hard.
$111 million over 2 years is a lot, but with a $1.69 billion budget, having to be able to focus on what's important in those core services is what our goal was.
City said that it does not plan to raise the property tax rate.
If you'd like to learn more about those handoffs or weigh in on the budget decisions, you can scan the QR code on the bottom of the screen. It will take you to this web article. The city of San Antonio is going to begin holding public town halls over the next 2 weeks.
There will be a town hall in each city council district, plus a special town hall geared toward the youth. A Bexar County budget meeting taken over where people stood up in opposition of a possible housing development that they say could make San Antonio's water unsafe to drink. We've been following the Guajolote Ranch project for years through our own Know My Neighborhood series. This development could bring 2,900 homes to Northwest Bexar County, but it also would require a wastewater treatment plant to be built. That's where most of the neighborhood concern over the environment and the water quality lies. For the first time last night, we were able to talk to the judge, Peter Sakai, about where he stands.
Right now, I want to make sure that we protect the aquifer. I want to make sure that we are respectful to property rights. I want to make sure that we follow the law.
Right now, people are here and are waiting to see if TCEQ grants the developer a permit to build the wastewater plant.
Volunteer fire departments in Guadalupe County may have to shut down soon. Their proposed budget does not provide enough money to keep them running. Jay Harmon, who lives by Lake Dunlap, says he would not be alive today without their help after a stroke he suffered last year.
You never know if it's going to be you until the day you have to pick up the phone and dial 911 and ask for their help. That's what they're there for. And
the departments need more than $200,000 for truck repairs and new air packs. And the fire departments also tell us that calls have jumped from 100 to 500 a year. Precinct 1 Commissioner Jacqueline Ott hopes the final budget vote in September will fix this. Now we have the latest this morning in the Spurs negotiations with the city on a possible new arena downtown. Sources tell KSAT that the city staff will meet today to finalize a term sheet proposal for the city's part of the funding for the arena. The draft will then be presented to the mayor and council as early as today. The council is expected to vote on the proposal on Thursday.
The Spurs are asking for around $490 million from the city, money that will come from tourism, hotel and visitor taxes. Now the Spurs have pledged more than $500 million to build the arena. Mark your calendars, fans, because we got the regular season schedule out right now for our Spurs, featuring 22 national TV games. The Spurs tip off at Dallas on October the 22nd on ESPN. Their first home game, October the 26th at 1 p.m. against Brooklyn. And Wemby and the crew will play at the Oklahoma City on Christmas, 1:30 p.m. on KSAT 12.
They also have a New Year's Eve home game this year against the Knicks. The Austin games will be in February on the 19th and 21st against Phoenix and Sacramento during the rodeo road trip. And the regular season finale is April 12th at home against Denver. We have the full schedule right now at KSAT.com.
Taking a live look outside right now at 9:36. If you're looking at the skies, it looks a little cloudy, but hey, it's okay. 84 degrees. I'll take it, Ernie.
I will agree. And some people may be taking in some rain this weekend.
Entirely possible. And that cloud cover you speak of, it's all due to just a good increase in moisture. We're already starting to see that. Some of the ancillary effects from that system down there in the Gulf. And we're going to see a ton of humidity today. Eventually that will lead to some rain. There's a satellite picture and you can see quite a bit of cloud cover at the moment. And it's developing with some showers just off the coast. We'll keep an eye on those, see how far inland they can make it. But you look at these dew points. I mean, these are legitimate. 73, the current dew point here in San Antonio. You got a dew point of 81 in LaGrange. That is about as high as dew points go in this area. So there's just a ton of moisture in the atmosphere. And so whatever rain we do see, especially as we get into tonight and early tomorrow morning, they'll be efficient rain producers, these downpours that develop. So 91 noontime. Look for temperatures to still make their way into the upper 90s this afternoon. We do bring in some small chances for rain, 20%. And those numbers are going to go up overnight. And again, as we get into tomorrow with a 40% chance on your Saturday, guys.
All right, back outside, look at traffic on this Friday. And again, things as you might expect at this time. Now kiddos are all in school and classes begun. The traffic is kind of wound down and it's looking pretty good as we go through some of these cameras all throughout the city. 35 there at FM 1103, 35 at 410. And of course, RJ has outlined some construction projects. You can always go to KSAT.com to find out about weekend construction, weather permitting. And of course, if anything changes weather-wise in the next 20 minutes, we'll be sure to let you know right here on GMSA at 9.
9:38 right now. Jaguar Land Rover recalling more than 120,000 Range Rover and Range Rover Sport vehicles, model years 2014 to 2017. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says that their front suspension knuckles could crack.
Yikes. That could cause the suspension arm to detach, increasing the risk of a crash. The recall is an expansion of a recall of nearly 17,000 vehicles. Jaguar Land Rover will send notification letters to owners by the end of next month.
More than 122,000 multi-purpose ladders have been recalled due to a fall hazard. Now, the recall for Werner 20-foot and 24-foot Multi-Max Pro multi-purpose ladders, they were sold in silver with a blue top and a blue label on the side rail.
Now, there have been at least 18 reports of falls, including 14 reports of injuries. The ladders were sold nationwide at Home Depot and online from November 2021 through February 2024.
It's nothing scarier than a ladder collapsing.
No kidding.
Okay, Drink Make requiring more or recalling more than 100,000 of its 1-liter carbonation bottles. CPSC says that the bottles can explode during use, posing a potential safety hazard.
There have been at least 8 reports of bottle explosions resulting in some injuries. The bottles were sold nationally from April 2023 through October 2024 and can often be found at Walmart, Amazon, and Target.
9:39 right now, 84 degrees outside, and you're watching GMSA at 9.
Still ahead after the break, a brain implant has been developed to help those who cannot speak due to paralysis. We'll explain how it works and what it aims to achieve.
9:43 right now. Welcome back. Researchers have developed a brain implant to tap into the inner voice of people who cannot speak because of paralysis. Now, it uses electrodes and artificial intelligence to decode and vocalize. What they're hoping to achieve is turning patterns of brain activity into words.
Some Apple Watches are getting a new way to measure the oxygen in your blood. The software update being pushed out today will enable the blood oxygen feature on the Apple Watch Series 9, Series 10, and the Ultra 2. Okay, I guess.
This is your part.
I'll take it. Okay. Well, you can stay. This week on Pickup Lines, I'm sitting down with a local leader who's made a career out of selling cars.
So for the last quarter century, Jose Luis Contreras has been working his way up to his current role of general manager and oversees 3 dealerships, including one in the Valley.
So he grew up near Jefferson High School, but ultimately went to Central Catholic and then right there to Notre Dame University for college. He eventually returned to San Antonio, but not before a stop in college for a few years, fresh out of college.
Interestingly enough, I was running about at a very young age. You think about, I look back at this, and I certainly thought I was some sort of hotshot. But I was running 6 or 7 grocery stores.
What?
Fresh out of college, yeah. And it was a private label deal, so they weren't huge stores, but Aldi Foods, and some people may know.
I'm very familiar with Aldi. Sure.
Right. So,
well, that's no small feat.
Well, it was fun, but basically I had that role, and it was one of the higher paying roles coming out of school, and so I was real proud of it because I had a company car and a pager.
Yes, sir. In this episode, Jose also talks about his faith and how his parents inspired him to be a successful business executive. There's his dad right there. The very latest episode of Pickup Lines premieres at 5:30 this evening on the free KSAT Plus app, or you can watch it now by searching Pickup Lines on KSAT.com.
Okay, let's go out to the zoo right now. Got a reminder, the Pasadena Zoo is teaming up with the Parkinson's Foundation this weekend to raise awareness and funds for Parkinson's disease. On Saturday and Sunday, the zoo will donate $1 from every train ride ticket sold to the foundation, honoring the late Ozzy Osbourne.
Get it? Crazy Train?
Yes, crazy.
Thank you. Tickets cost $6, and then on Saturday, visitors can learn more about Parkinson's. They can meet foundation representatives and make donations. It's a chance to have fun and support a great cause. Crazy Train tickets are available for adults and children ages 3 and up.
And that's how it goes. I used to tear that song up in pep band on the for marching band season.
Yeah.
Crazy Train. I had that solo that goes like.
I feel like it's a theme song to my life.
Yes. It's such a good song.
Well, you can go see the Flamingos tomorrow if you go see the Crazy Train, but you might want to have an umbrella handy.
Indeed.
Just saying.
Yeah, this is the Flamingos kind of weather. Some tropical weather coming in, and I think they'll like it. You can see the tree kind of blowing around a little bit there too. We're getting some breezy winds this morning as we look live there at the zoo. All right, we got to talk about, of course, what's going on in the Gulf, and we will, but we've also got another system out there, and that is Erin, which is a tropical storm, but soon to be hurricane. Winds are at 70 miles per hour, so this is on the brink. I think at the next update, we may have a hurricane on our hands here. And the first hurricane of the season, mind you, Hurricane Erin, if it does achieve that, and again, I think it will, moving west-northwest at about 17 miles per hour. This is getting closer to some of the islands there, and they will see some rain, but not the big effects from this, and that's the good news. Hey, and right there, did you see that? I'm going to go back. This is the beauty of real-time data.
It's official.
It's official. Right as I said that, the 10 a.m. update just came in, and winds are at 75 miles per hour. So officially now a hurricane. There you go. West-northwest at 18 miles per hour. So here's Erin's path. And we do think this will become a major hurricane by Sunday, and then we could have a Cat 4 on our hands. So this is going to be a big-time storm. The good news here is it misses the Bahamas. It may even miss Bermuda. So this is going to stay out over open water, but it will produce big-time waves and surf there along the east coast of the United States and Bahamas as well. All right, let's get back over into the Gulf and take a look at what's going on here with this this wave. And we do see that there is some good thunderstorm rain activity associated with that. And we're starting to see some of that moisture make its way inland now. So around Victoria and Beeville, we're starting to see some downpours. And it's just kind of like I don't want to say an outer band because this isn't really that organized, but it's just sort of the initial band of moisture that's starting to work in. And some of that may work towards San Antonio a little bit later this afternoon. Futurecast is showing that. So at noontime, it shows kind of one of those bands working through our southern and southeastern counties with the heaviest of the rain down in the RGV. Then as we get into this evening, not a lot there, but I do think we'll see some isolated showers and storms. But it's overnight where we probably get the bulk of our action because that's where the energy from this system actually works north towards San Antonio. The circulation may be just to our west as it moves north, and that would throw some good moisture in our direction overnight going into early tomorrow morning, and then probably through the first half of tomorrow before drier air begins to work in behind this. So rain chances 20% today, 30% midnight, 40% by 4 a.m. And we'll keep it at 40% through about midday, maybe 1, 2 o'clock tomorrow before rain chances fall off. All right, let's talk about long-term forecast here. High pressure is going to reestablish itself just to our north. And in fact, it'll be close enough to where it'll give us quiet weather Sunday into Monday. But then it moves west, pretty far west, in fact. And this really is going to open up the door for disturbances to roll north to south into Texas. And that should give us some pretty good rain chances next week. Right now, I'm looking at a 40% chance by Thursday. But if it continues the way it is, the way the models are showing that this will play out, then I think we'll be able to raise rain chances late next week. So keep an eye on that. In the short term, though, 40% chance tomorrow, 96, 100 Sunday, and then small rain chances Monday, Tuesday before we start to see those numbers rise again.
Okie dokie. Thank you so much, Justin. Okay, so our friends over in SA Live got something going on.
Happy Friday.
Good morning.
Yes, happy Friday. It is Friday, right? It is a long week. It is absolutely Friday. And you know what you could do this weekend? You can time travel this weekend. Oh, yes, we found a VR experience that takes you all aboard the Titanic, okay? And it's not just the history that you're going to learn. It is a full-on adventure for the whole family, and we got to go check it out.
It was so cool, so cool. And we're both Titanic geeks. We love the history, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can call us that. Yeah. So it is the coolest experience, and Sloan even got to join us. Okay, if you're hungry, you are in luck today because we've got Liz here with Naco Grayson, and we're talking brisket chilaquiles, but also you got vegetarian options, right?
We have so many. Like our menu, it's not only covering breakfast tacos, but it has much more to offer. We have a big variety of breakfast tacos that are vegetarian, as well as the French toast, which is vegetarian. And we can even have some vegan available for everybody. Of course, we're Texans. We love the brisket, and the Mexican brisket is the best seller, but we always cover the rest of the folks.
I got to go here too. Look at these margaritas. Everything made fresh, right?
Everything is from scratch. So we don't use anything powder, nothing out of a can, nothing out of a bottle. Everything is freshly squeezed limes, cucumbers, hibiscus flowers, and for the margaritas, we make our own syrup, so it has no sugar added. It's only agave syrup. It's so delicious. They're so delicious. They're legit. They're legit.
Yes, okay.
My mouth is watering and I'm sold.
Okay, speaking of mouth watering, how about some delicious sourdough? Yes, we check out a local sourdough baker that's on the rise.
Oh, I love that. Yes, yes. And she is a mother of 4, and the whole family pitches in with this business. They got a new brick and mortar, and let's just say everybody was in here eating that bread. We loved it.
And it's a sequel to the comedy action flick Nobody. We chat with Hollywood star Connie Nielsen about her role with the workaholic assassin.
And Denzel Washington and Spike Lee, 2 of my favorites. They reunite for their 5th film together. Our movie guy, Johnny Marr, yes, tells us all about this new crime thriller. I'm excited.
And we catch up with actor, comedian, and New York Times bestselling author that's coming to San Antonio tonight, Sarah Colonna, ahead of her performance at the Pearls Stable Hall. All that and more when SA Live continues in just a few.
This is Fretless, The Wrath of Rifson.
This is a musical RPG, or a guitar PG, if you will. And instead of I appreciate the laugh. Instead of collecting swords and shields, you collect musical instruments and musical gear, and you battle with riffs.
The game was born out of ideas from Rob Scallon's YouTube channel, which boasts over 2.5 million subscribers.
I am a provider of lighthearted, fun music times on YouTube. It was originally 8 years ago going to be an extension of just a YouTube video. I had made a lot of really fun, like choose your own adventure videos where the video would end and then you would click on the next video to choose what you were going to do.
That progressed into a Flash game, eventually going into full game development.
You don't need to have any musical talent or ever played an instrument to enjoy this game. You also don't need to know about me or my channel. People that have been around following the channel are going to love the Easter eggs that are in it, and they're going to recognize the characters and the songs. But if you're just someone who likes RPGs, this is going to be great. Or someone who just enjoys music, which I hope is everyone, I think it can appeal to anybody.
Leveling Up in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Yeah, and that's some heavy metal there on a Friday morning. Okay, 90 at 35, and right there at 35 in Brooklyn, a couple of vehicles that are pulled over to the side there and disabled. But otherwise, traffic looking pretty good. Just be on the lookout for potentially wet roads this weekend. Of course, always go to KSAT.com for the very latest on the traffic situation.
All right, back in the weather world, how we looking?
Well, it's sunny out there, you see with the train sky shot, but we'll get clouds kind of building up, I think especially as we get into the afternoon. There's a chance that we could see a few showers today. 98, still hot. It's still very humid. But if we're going to see some showers and some downpours, they'll start really overnight, I think, going into the pre-dawn hours and then first half of the day tomorrow. It's not going to be for everybody, just a 40% chance, but there is enough moisture in the atmosphere where there could be some places where you get some brief heavy rain, but we don't expect flooding to be a big issue. 100 on Sunday. So Sunday we're dry and it's quieter. The next week is a week that looks like it could be somewhat busy. We shall see. I'm especially looking at Thursday and Friday of next week. So yeah, it's nice to see some rain changes.
But careful if you're going to the coast this weekend.
Yes, that is a very good point. I'm glad you brought that up because rip currents and just higher waves, even though it's still just a tropical wave, not even a depression, but it still is going to kick up surf. And yes, and Aaron was upgraded to a Category 1 hurricane out in the Atlantic, so things are picking up.
And you say this is going to improve by Monday, right? As far as the strength of it?
Aaron?
Yes.
Well, yes. Well, it'll be starting to curve back to the north and back out to the Atlantic.
Okay.
Not coming this way. All right.
Okay, guys. Thanks so much for watching us today. Of course, hope you have a blessed weekend. But for right now, SA Live starts
celebrating San Antonio with the city's #1 lifestyle and variety show. This is SA Live.
And happy Spurs Friday, y'all. Yes, it's 10 o'clock. I was watching the clock. The tickets are now